Hey everybody, my name is AceFangirl, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa 2. Goodbye Despair. Last time. Weird stuff. Weird stuff. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. We're seeing dead people, everything's glitching, and now we're back here, in Hope's Peak Academy, circa Danganronpa 1. I don't know why this is happening, I don't know what is happening, but things are wild. Monokuma was like, hey, graduation can happen, but before you graduate, you need to, like, investigate and find out about the outside world, so I guess that's what we're gonna do now? I guess we're just gonna explore? But what are we even looking for? Do we have to just investigate this weird-ass building? I don't want to investigate this weird-ass building! Even so, I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Well, I'll just go on ahead for now. Okay, bye. I was gonna say we should maybe stick together, but it's cool. Don't worry about it. Hey, you're already going! What is that idiot thinking, running ahead without being cautious? Man. She obviously isn't thinking about anything, duh. However, it'll be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives. Yeah, I know that's what Monokuma said, but I don't know if I trust him. So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it's not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped the green light, we'd never reach our goal. Oh, I mean, the other thing I should probably talk about is that weird chapter 0. Where we saw Nagito and somebody talking. And, I mean, I don't think I really have much to say about it, but I'm acknowledging that it happened, and I was really weirded out by it, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sure they're gonna answer all of my questions, but right now I have so many that I don't even know where they're gonna start. Akane already took off on her own. It might be faster if we split up and look around too. I really want to find everyone else. I hope that, you know, everyone circa game 1 is in here. Not everyone, not the dead people, I presume. I'm really only, let's be real, looking for one person in particular, and that's Byakuya. I would love to see Byakuya again. I believe that I will see him again. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Then let's get this over with and go home. Later. I'll go on ahead. See you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gymnasium. I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow, then left the gymnasium.
Oh my.
Miss Sonia.
Miss Sonia!
Please don't leave me! I'll be in danger if I'm left alone! Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed, and left the gymnasium. And then there was me. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual, peaceful, everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things keep happening, for the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. Awesome. Oh, yes! We get this music the whole time. That's awesome! Oh, hey, Monokuma. I see you over there. Ooh, he's spooky, glitchy Monokuma.
You can do it.
Nice. Alright, I don't know if I really need to investigate anything in here. It doesn't look like it. Let's leave. I don't really know where I'm going, is the thing. Oh god! Oh, we just went straight up to the 5th. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. We're on the 5th floor now. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. I don't like it. I wanted to explore. I hate. I'm trying to figure out if it's actually, like, trying to show me something. Like, look at this pole. That's messed up. What's up, girl? How you doing? Are you seeing this too? This hallway, there's a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement.
I am concerned.
Is it just me? No, darling. It is not just you, and now I'm seeing pieces of you on the screen, and that's creepy and stuff. Was that her hair that I just saw there? I don't know where it wants me to go. If we go to the dojo? Hi, what do we think about that? Dojo? Cool? Yes? Allowed to go here. Cool. I remember when I met with Byakuya under the cherry blossoms. What is that? Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. Wow, hang on, I want to look at everything before I look at that obviously suspicious thing. Look at the cherry blossoms! They're so beautiful! The cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossoms. The falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Hyoko and Peko were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I'll definitely go home. Yeah. Oh, nope. Wrong button. Sorry. Wrong button. Wow, I didn't know that. Really? Oh, I didn't know X opened that. That's cool. Alright, I'm just seeing what I want to look at everything. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. You never know, man. We should open all of them. This is a straw post. I guess that means it was used for training. Okay, great. How about over here? Can I look at any of this? I can. I assume the cherry blossom tree is going to be the same. Monitors for the same purpose as the monitors in the island. Monitor from the supervision. Yeah, whatever. Armor. Let's wear it. It's armor and a helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? I'm sorry, the map developers? Alright, hang on, wait, there's one more. There's the targets out here. I'm gonna do that real quick. That target seems pretty far away. If the production team had more time, there could have been a minigame here. Oh my god, they really are just gonna hammer it now. Wait, what am I saying? They're just gonna hammer it home. Alright, what is this? What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma. Great. Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this? Oh my god. Let's start with history first, class.
Hey!
Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. But we get the music back, so that's cool. So, just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. It's probably gonna be lewd. Cute! I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Researchers. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system. The Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of that talent. Of talent, not that talent. There's no talent. To create a Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Oh no, not this again. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. It probably was. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga, the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, these names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no, it would just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The reserve department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those reserve corps students, right?
But hold on.
That's weird. Oh, you're here again. The thing that's weird is you, of course. Huh?
Hey!
Why did you forget that you were part of the reserve department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that too. What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those reserve corps students.
I got it!
Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself. Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. I mean, don't we all? You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on!
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve corps student. Rude. Damn it, what the heck? Oh good, I got reserve department. It's been added. Awesome. Okay, I don't know what that's gonna do, but like we have that now and that's fun and awesome, I guess. Okay, so I think that's everything in here. Is it gonna just warp me to another place in the school? Is that what's gonna happen? No. Okay. So I still get to explore the 5th floor. Is this blocked off? Yes. Oh, I leveled up by walking. I don't even remember what else is on the 5th floor. Oh, hey!
What's going on?
Hallway, it's kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. No, that can't be it. Nah. You know what No, I don't think that's a thing. Okay, what else is down here? This is like where that... Cool. Hate this. Can I not go in here either? No, I can't go in the biolab either. Okay, doesn't let me go here, does it? Where does it want me to go now? I did the dojo. Oh, now I can go in here. Oh, I see. It's gonna, like, gradually open up. Alright, I understand what's happening now. I got it. The violin. Oh, there's another manga. Wait, hang on, I need to look for Monokuma. Whoa! Okay, what else can I look at? I think I've already looked at all these things. Technically, because I was in the other classroom, so I'm just gonna skip the book. This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is... Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Useful. Let's read. Wasn't The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga, too? It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. Ooh, dramatic looking. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? Whoa. I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. Thank you. You know, I wasn't sure. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamukura. Should I know that name? Because I don't. Izuru was a genius, known as a symbol of hope. Siri, I'm not talking to you. Siri, not talking to you. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. Okay. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who is known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. So, would that be the bloody room that we found in the last game? Maybe? However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're excited. Danganronpa 0. Is that the first game? I don't think it is. I think that's a different game. I'm pretty sure. The heavy sigh closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Thank you. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your tidbits of information you're throwing in here, Monokuma. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope, but for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. Wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. I don't know. We're uncovering things. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember game 1 well enough, and that's gonna be a problem. Alright, where is our next place that we can go? Maybe, no? Maybe the biolab? Yes. Raw. Did it always say that? I don't remember. I feel like it may have, but... Good, yes. Love to be back in here. This is my favorite place in the game ever. What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. Just hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Is there anyone in here? Okay, well I can look at... Are these freaking tarps? No! Not the tarps! This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Okay, I just want to make sure that there's nothing else. Oh, that's the camera. Okay, I think we're okay. Hang on a minute. Oh, I can look at the refrigerators. Let's look at those. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least that's what it looks like, but that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school bio lab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been canceled during development or something. What am I thinking? Oh my god, we're becoming self-aware. We're breaking the fourth wall. Ooh, this looks spooky. There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is everyone else finding these? Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame? Probably not. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. Probably not. God, that's spooky. I don't like that. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger happy havoc, some would say. At first, the uprising of the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By that, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. Oh god. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. Cool. My heart was racing in my chest, my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I don't know that it is. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them? Dude, this may be too real right now.
No way!
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this?
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Nub, what is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. Great. I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Oh, good flashback, thank you. As a headmaster, I'm conflicted. I'm really happy that you're finally gonna graduate, but I'm worried about whether you guys be okay. Yeah. Whether you want to leave Jabba Rock Island or stay here. He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm gonna do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps, no, that's definitely it. Great. Okay. Whether or not this incident really happened, when the world is the ultimate despair group, if they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm gonna freeze to death! I'm on my limit, I need to get out of here! Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Yeah, man, it's probably freezing in there. I'm actually kind of cold right now. Cool! Oh, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So, where should I go next? I don't know. Clearly there, but I'm just gonna check and make sure no one else is around. Nope. Alright. B. B it is. Ah, despair. Good. Oh, what's up? Hey! How's it going? Wasn't expecting to see you here. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. But I wanted to see him. Hang on, I'm just gonna... looking around for another one. Well, I'm gonna talk to Fuyiko first. Hey, how's it going?
Jeez.
And I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. Hey, this could be shitty either way.
Damn right.
So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Alright, fine. What?
Hiya.
Why, hello, Hajime! I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here?
No.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. We don't have any manga. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating Hot Pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What did you need to tell me? It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for.
What?
Surprise! It's about Ultimate Despair! Huh? Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. A high school girl?
yes, indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima?
Hey,
As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
don't fuck with
Hold
me.
on a sec. No, let him finish. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power.
phew.
Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat.
Huh?
Then what was their purpose?
Huh?
What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name right, because I've heard it pronounced Enoshima or Enoshima. So I'm really not sure which one it is. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she is truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the Ultimate Despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything, really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the Ultimate Despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko and Oshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so that they could escape from despair, all in Junko and Oshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible. Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days?
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Oh, Lord. Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? Is that me?
Damn it.
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair, Junko and Oshima. I'm gonna switch up my pronunciation every single time I see it. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko and Oshima's already dead. Huh? Oh shit, there she is! Aw, damn, look at her! Oh, she's such a queen. God, she's cool. Sorry. I know I'm not supposed to say that. Oh god, so many things. Reserve Department has been updated. Okay, cool. Well, now what? Now what? What do we do now? What we do now is end this one off because we've found out so much and I need time to process. So in the next one, we'll figure out, are we going to talk to Monokuma more? We're probably going to have to talk to Fuyuhiko because he apparently knows that Junko's already dead and I don't know how he would know that. I mean, I know that, but like, I don't know how he knows that. So we're going to find out in the next one. I'll see you then. Bye!